Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Welcome, everyone, to another Fish Report Live. My name is Craig Fissinger. That over there is Ken Francis. Our old buddies TK and Heavy D back in the sound room where they are every week. And Ken took last week off. Glad to see you back. Nice enough to have Russia girls golf coach Doug Borcher sitting in for us last week. I do want to get your thoughts on something, though. He was telling a story last week comparing himself to the great slugger Lou Gehrig that played for the New York Yankees and you to a guy by the name of Wally Pipp that Lou Gehrig replaced. Thoughts on that?
Well, Coach Borchers, first of all, I'd like to thank him for filling in for me. He did a fantastic job. But, he likes to tell stories, Craig, and, you just got to kind of let that slide. And, I thought I'd get my chair back, and I'm just glad I did.
All right, well, glad to have you back here. And we're going to have a lot of fun tonight, a lot of big interviews. Why don't you tell the viewers what we got in store tonight?
Yes, we do, Craig. First of all, we're going to go over to talk to Tri-Village boys basketball coach Josh Sagester, the head coach of the Tri-Village Patriots, Craig. They're ranked number 3 in the state of Ohio right now, Division IV. He's the top team in the CCC, and, really looking forward to talking to Josh. And also, Craig, we're going to have an athletic director on the line with us tonight. It'll be from New Knoxville, Jerry Vanderhorst. They do a fantastic job in all sports over there, boys and girls, a very small school, kind of like our Russia Raiders, Craig. And he's the guy behind it all, so really looking forward to talking to Jerry in the second half of our show.
All right, well, before we get to all that, just like we do every week, you have a weekly trivia question for me. I kind of missed your trivia question last week. Doug had a good one for us there, but what do you got for me tonight?
All right, Craig, since we're talking a little New Knoxville, we're going to talk New Knoxville boys basketball, Craig. And who holds the New Knoxville boys basketball record of 34 rebounds in one single game?
Wow, 34.
34 rebounds in a single game at New Knoxville. Was it Kyle Schreier, Lee Katterhenrick, or the only NBA player out of the MAC, Evan Eschmeyer, who played 4 years in the NBA?
3 good choices there. I remember all 3 of those guys.
Absolutely. Kyle's married to a Russia girl, Chris Lyons, and Lee Katterhenrick, I think he might be a car salesman over there, and Evan Eschmeyer, the ex-NBA great.
All right, well, I put that question out on Twitter. Hopefully I'll get a little help. I'll try to get that one by the end of the show. All right, Ken, well, let's start out tonight talking some boys basketball. We're going to start out with the SCL, talk a little SCL boys basketball. I believe we have the top 4 teams in the league going at each other this Friday. Why don't you tell the viewers out there about those matchups and what the standings are right now?
Well, Craig, we're 8 games into the league, Craig. There's 4 games left to play, and the league is really starting to shape up. The Houston Wildcats sitting alone up on top at 7-1. The Russia Raiders just 1 game behind there, alone in second place at 6-2. Anna and Fort Loramie both right in contention yet, Craig, with 3 losses apiece. And the Jackson Center Tigers sitting at 4-4. So, the league is really shaped up. It's very balanced this year, and there's going to be some great games Friday night. 2 big games, Craig. Got the 4 top teams all squaring off against each other. The Houston Wildcats will be traveling to Fort Loramie for a very tough contest, and the Russia Raiders likewise will be going to Anna for another very tough game. So, look for this whole league race. It could even get more of a log jam here by the end of the night, Friday night.
Yeah, it makes for a lot of excitement on Friday. And I want to ask about a couple of those matchups. You said Russia travels to Anna. Anna's been in kind of a skid here, lost 6 of the last 7 games. Is this going to be an easy one for the Raiders?
Absolutely not, Craig. The skid kind of started when shooting star Carter Bentzman got injured. However, from what I'm reading and hearing now, he's almost back to 100%. So look for Anna to come out as a different team Friday night. The game is at Anna, of course, and they were actually the last team to beat Russia back on Russia's home court quite a while ago. So that's going to be a tough game for Russia.
All right, and that Fort Loramie Houston game played a close one last time. I think Loramie actually led at the end of the third quarter last time they played. Houston ended up pulling out a 4-point victory. I expect nothing less this time.
I agree with you, Craig. Again, that's going to be a very tough game. Houston traveling to Fort Loramie. Fort Loramie plays very well on their home gym, and Loramie realizes they have to win that game to stay in contention. So again, 2 great matchups Friday night in Shelby County League boys basketball.
All right, well, let's jump ahead and talk a little cross-county conference basketball. And the new state poll, Ken, came out earlier this week. We saw I guess it's not often you see the CCC outnumber the MAC and the SCL put together, but we sure saw that this week, didn't we?
Absolutely, Craig. The CCC is very strong this year, very top-heavy. Tip City, Bethel, and Tri-Village sitting there, two of the top three teams in the state. Franklin Monroe's also got a very strong team this year. So, but Tri-Village, Craig, had a big win last week over Troy Christian. Tip City Bethel has been very strong all year, and the two are going to go head-to-head Friday night in a big CCC battle.
All right, well, the top team in the CCC right now is Tri-Village. They're sitting at 12-0, Ken, like you said, number 3. And this really isn't nothing new for them. Actually, last year they were they finished 26-1. They finished number 1 in the AP poll, and they were led by the guy by the name of Kyle Pippinger. Kyle actually no longer there. He's since graduated. But one guy that still is there is the head coach, Josh Sagester. We're happy to have him live on the phone right now. Coach, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, well, first question here. You got the number 7 ranked Troy Christian Eagles last Saturday. This Friday night, you get to take on the number 2 Bethel Bees. Us sports talk guys, we love that kind of stuff. How about you? Are you having fun yet?
I'll tell you, it doesn't get any easier, does it? We prepared awful hard last week for Troy Christian, and we're doing the same this week for Bethel. Obviously, they're a very good basketball team, very well coached. So we have another hurdle to get over.
All right. Well, Ken and I were just kind of mentioning Troy Christian here briefly. That they're the team that actually ended your season last year. It was kind of a heartbreaker there. They beat you in overtime and tournament there, 48-43. I want to ask, on Saturday night, did any of those memories from that game motivate you guys?
I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you that we had a few of those memories in the back of our mind as we took the floor. I tell you, more importantly, I think it provided some off-season fuel as well for our guys to put in some work to hopefully get back and have the opportunity to play in a game of that magnitude.
Coach, hi, this is Ken Francis. And for those of that just read the newspaper, they look at your box scores, they see 3 big guns for you in Tyler Cook, Damian Cook, and Colton Linkus. Obviously, these 3 guys are your scorers, they're your go-to guys. But it takes a lot more than that, just that, to win games, doesn't it, Coach?
It does. I've been very fortunate at Tri-Village. We've had kids that accept their roles and accept them with pride, and that's no different this year. We've got some different pieces to our puzzle. We've got a senior wingman that's kind of our defensive stopper. We've got a point guard that is averaging about 9 assists a game right now, kind of the straw that stirs the drink for us. And we've got a 6th man who I believe would be a starter on most basketball teams. And you may remember this guy. We kind of call him Vinny Johnson, the microwave. So he can kind of provide us some offensive firepower when he comes into the game. So, yeah, as you alluded to, we've got more than those 3 individuals.
Coach, Craig mentioned before, you've got Bethel Friday night. Bethel's led by star Patrick Bain. And last week when you played Troy Christian, you held their star Grant Zawatsky well in check. Can you use the same type of game plan against Bain as you did Zawatsky the other night?
I kind of compare the teams. I think they're both fairly similar. And what I mean by that is both are very guard-oriented. I thought we did a nice job on those 3 guards for Troy Christian. Obviously, Grant's a very good basketball player. You're not going to completely stop Patrick Bain. The goal would be to make him work as hard as possible to get some things accomplished. It's going to take another great effort from us from a team defensive standpoint. A lot of things that Bethel tries to do, or some things that Troy Christian tried to do as well, is everything's pretty much predicated off dribble penetration. So it's going to be imperative that we contain the bounce, and then if that doesn't work, they go a lot of ball screen action. So we're going to have to make sure that we're able to defend that as well. So again, I think both teams are very good, and I think they're both fairly similar in that they both have strong guard play.
Coach, last year you went 26-1. Gone from that team is Kyle Pippinger, your star. This year, all you've done is start the season off undefeated once again. Obviously, things are going very well over there in Tri-Village for your team. Give us a little bit of some of your secrets about your success.
Well, you guys being basketball fans, I don't think there are a lot of secrets. I tell you, the one thing that kind of defines our program is hard work. We really take a lot of pride in outworking others, and kind of our motto is, what we put in, we get out. And our kids, when they get their opportunities, they're taking advantage of them. And that's kind of what's happening this year. We did lose 4 starters, and we've got some guys that are doing a nice job of obviously replacing some of the guys that you've mentioned, and they're being very opportunistic, and kind of they don't want to be the team that that doesn't perform well. I think there's program expectations, and I'll be honest with you, I think there's some community expectations, and I think most coaches would tell you that they want to be a place where there are expectations, and right now there are high expectations at Tri-Village.
All right, Coach, listen, one more question, and we'll let you go. Now, we know you're also the superintendent over there at Tri-Village as well as being the basketball coach, so you're obviously a busy guy. I want to ask you, when the basketball season gets underway, do you just tell your family, hey, listen, I'll see you in March, and they're good with it?
Hey, that's a great question. I'll tell you, with all the snow and ice and cold temperatures we've been having, I'll tell you, there have been some pretty early mornings lately. The key, I think, the key to success is being organized and obviously keeping our priorities in line. But I'm very lucky to have a wife that's a very sports enthusiast, I guess you could say, and she enjoys spending a lot of time at the school. So she's around quite a bit, and it's been working out pretty well so far.
I always hear coaches thank their wives at the end of the season, and that's probably a good thing. They're just as much a part of it as you are, huh?
Absolutely.
They are, and she enjoys it, and I've got 3 kids under the age of 9, so that keeps me busy as well, and so again, we're having a good time, and I'm very fortunate to be in the position that I'm in.
All right, well, listen, Coach, hey, best of luck this Friday against Bethel. Maybe our Raiders will see you along the tournament trail, hopefully somewhere, and thanks for joining us tonight on Fish Report Live.
Hey, thanks for thinking of us, and best of luck to you and the Russia Raiders.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We really appreciate it. Good luck to you.
All right, that was the head coach of the Tri-Village Patriots, Ken, Josh Sagester. And, one thing I love about Division IV, especially in this area, you always see those same last names. They got a couple Cooks on that team. They got a Linkus on there, if you remember. Kayla Linkus played not too long ago, and no different than the SCL and the MAC, is it?
Absolutely. And the other thing I really like about small school Division IV basketball, Craig, is what Coach talked about there with the community pride and the community expectations. It just comes along with the school spirit, the community getting in behind the teams, and it just makes for a lot of proud kids and just a lot of good community support.
All right, well, listen, that's going to do it for our boys basketball talk, but stay right there. After the break, we're going to come back, talk some girls basketball, including that big interview with New Knoxville AD Jerry Vanderhorst. We'll be right back.
My baby finally gave up on me. I can't say that I blame her. She just got tired of playing losing games. I should suck on my pride and beg that girl to come back home. Deep down I know she's better off, 'cause fools like me are meant to die alone. Someone give me one good reason, one good reason to smile. I'm trying to be that guy my mother prayed that I would be. Some days I feel like
Welcome back to the second half of Fish Report Live, everyone. Before the break, Ken, we were talking some boys basketball. We're now going to talk a little girls basketball, and our own TK was out and about last night over in Versailles watching that big matchup between the Fort Loramie Redskins and the Versailles Tigers. Let's go back to the sound room, and TK, you picked a good one.
Yeah, we did. We knew it would be exciting, so made the trip down the road to Versailles to watch that big matchup. Got a little bit of video here, and I can we'll run that, and I'll give you a little bit of the highlights. Of course, it's Versailles is D3, number 10 in the state. Fort Loramie, D4, number 3. So again, we knew it would be a good one. It was a matchup of speed from Fort Loramie and the post play of the Versailles Tigers. As you can see in this video here, Fort Loramie struggled. There's Darian Rose from just above the line and misses that one. That was about the story all night. And then Versailles was able to use their post play, go inside and either get the bucket, or in this case, I think in the video here, see a nice entry pass and a foul, and they went to the line and they made their foul shots. As I said, Loramie was struggling. They went 12 for 27 from the free throw line. That is very untypical of a Versailles club, and that was just about the ball game right there. Or rather, Fort Loramie, very untypical of Fort Loramie to go that 12 for 27. Versailles managed to do what it needed to do to win the game.
TK, I want to ask you, I was listening to the post-game interview with Coach Jackie Stonebreaker, and she talked about their bench keeps track of hustle plays, and she thought maybe they outnumbered Fort Loramie 6-1 on hustle plays, and 5 of those were the result of Amanda Winter, who just came back last night. She's been out with an injury all season, came back last night. I believe she only had maybe 6 points, but you were there. Do you think Amanda Winter is going to be a key for them moving forward?
Yeah, she did come in and play very well, helped out their guard. Pottis had some foul trouble early, so they needed some bench help. She came in as well as a couple other girls off the Versailles bench. A lot of hustle there, and that helped push them over the edge as well when they were dealing with some foul trouble early.
You know, guys, a lot of times in the box score, those things, the hustle plays don't show up. Unfortunately, the points you score always show up in the box score, but it's the little things like that actually win you the games.
All right, Heavy D, I want to go to you. And, last Saturday, I went down to Kettering, watched that Flying to the Hoop basketball showcase. They had a heck of a deal going on. I was down there on Saturday, 7 games for $12. Pretty good deal there. I believe if you're a Versailles Tigers fan or a Russia Raiders fan, they got kind of a similar deal coming up this Saturday, don't they?
Yep, we've got the traditional backyard rivalry between Versailles and Russia. It's a 5-game action-packed day this Saturday at Claire C. Nouveau Gymnasium. Starting out at 11 o'clock with the freshman boys going head-to-head, and it just goes every 2 hours from there. We got 1 o'clock, got the JV girls, 3 o'clock the JV boys, 5 o'clock the varsity girls, and 7 o'clock the varsity boys. So for $6, you can see 5 games. I think that beats Flying to the Hoop. The action is going to be probably just as good as it always is between Versailles and Russia. I always look forward to that matchup. And then after the game, is the annual Russia alumni or the Russia Athletic Boosters Party after the game, open to just about anybody, especially Russia and Versailles fans. Starts at 9 o'clock at the St. Remy Hall. $10 admission, includes door prizes and food. At the end of the night, there's going to be the annual up to $10,000 drawing, so get in on that. And entertainment this year is Buff Francis and Tim Hart of 2x2. Always a good show there. And one of the events I look forward to every year is Auctioneer Tebby auctioning off some really nice prizes to the crowd. So for $6, watch all the basketball you want. If you're a senior citizen, you get in free, so even better. And also throughout the day at the school, the Russia Band Boosters are going to have an extended menu. So come hungry, watch the game, and if you're a Raider fan, hopefully you leave happy.
All right, good stuff, guys, back there. Thanks for all that. And Ken, last night they were just talking about that Fort Loramie Versailles game. I imagine a few of the Shelby County League clubs probably wish that loss would have went in the conference losses, but it didn't. It's a non-conference loss. But let's take a look at the standings right now, see how the SCL's stacking up. And, right now, I guess mathematically, Anna and Russia, they're still in it, but realistically, it looks like Fort Loramie's league.
Craig, this league has been decided. Fort Loramie girls are just that good. They're 8-0. I realize they got 2 league losses now, but when you put them up against the teams that they've got to play yet in the Shelby County League, they're going to win out. Very good team, Craig. But on the other hand of that, they've it's been proven that they are beatable. Coming into the season, myself included, thought, Fort Loramie girls are probably going to run the gamut here, and, they're looking at a 30-0 season. But, they've been beaten by Minster now. They've been beaten by Versailles, and they've got a great team over there. But sometimes, Craig, a couple losses like that actually helps righten the ship, and I'm sure Coach Siegel will rebound from that loss and get the Redskins playing well again.
All right. Well, let's jump ahead, talk some MAC sports. And did you happen to see that article this morning on Fish Report about the MAC and all the state titles they have over there?
I did, Craig. It's amazing how many state titles they've won. But since their inception in 1973, Craig, the MAC is averaging almost 2.7 state titles per season. That's just an incredible number, Craig. And they got 30 in football alone and all the other sports. And the MAC has just been phenomenal. And what's so impressive about it, Craig, is that they win them in volleyball and girls basketball and boys basketball, and you name the sport, they win them. So it's going to be neat tonight to talk to New Knoxville Athletic Director Jerry Vanderhorst, who's a part of the MAC, and hear what he has to say.
Yeah, one of those state titles does belong to New Knoxville back in 2008. Jerry wasn't the AD back then, but he has been the AD for the last 3 years. We're happy to have him live on the phone right now. Jerry, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hi, guys.
Hey, listen.
Thanks for checking up on us here in Auglaize County tonight.
Not a problem.
Hey, it's good to finally talk to you. In this technology world we live in, we feel like we kind of already know you from following you on Twitter. You do a great job keeping local sports fans up to date on all the sports over there in New Knoxville. I want to ask you, have you embraced this technology, Twitter, or is it just something you're doing because you have to?
No, there's no requirement to do it. Twitter's just something that's been a great tool for me. It allows me to get information out really quickly. And this winter, with all the postponements and cancellations, it's just really been valuable to get that information out to our fans and players, up to date, moment by moment.
All right, well, us fans over here in Shelby County sure appreciate it. It allows us to keep track on what's going over there in MAC land. And, of all your sports teams over there right now, your girls basketball team's probably getting the most hoopla right now. They beat our Raiders here a while back. A couple weeks ago, they knocked off the number one team in the state at the time, the Marion Local Flyers. What's your thoughts on where that girls program's at right now?
Well, we felt coming into this season that we were going to be pretty strong. We were 17-5 last year. We returned our whole roster, and we started out the season up at the QP Invitational at Lima Bath. We lost in the championship game by about 6 points to a state-ranked team. Then we had to come back and play Fort Loramie, Versailles, and Minster in succession. So our schedule was pretty front-loaded, but now that we've gotten past those games, we've won 7 in a row, and hopefully that'll continue and we can kind of roll into the tournament.
Jerry, hi. This is Ken Francis. Let's talk about your boys' team just for a minute. They're 7-7. They're hanging in there in the middle of the MAC. They've got a big game Friday night with New Bremen, which actually happens to be the NK Telco Fan Appreciation Game of the Night. Give us how the New Knoxville relationship is at your sporting events with your hometown cable network.
Well, as you guys know, we're kind of where it all started for NK Telco. 10, 15 years ago, we were probably the only game of the week for NK Telco, and their involvement in high school sports has just kind of exploded over the years, and they're doing a fantastic job with that. But we partner with them on a lot of projects, and they're very generous to our school. We've got remote cameras in our gymnasium that they installed for us to do our videotaping with. Helped us out with a new score table this year, so we're excited to have them in our gym this coming Friday so that we can show our appreciation for them as well.
Well, they do a great job, and I always look forward to watching some of the games and some of their broadcasts as well whenever I'm over in some of their viewing areas. So, speaking of boys basketball, your son Ryan was a great basketball player for New Knoxville a few years ago. He played on the state championship team, and he continued his college playing days at Walsh University. Give us an update on how Ryan's doing.
Ryan's had a great experience at Walsh in his fourth year now. His role on the team has changed some over the years. Started a lot as a sophomore and junior. He's coming off the bench this year, but their team's 11-3 right now. They're tied with Findlay for first place in the GLIAC South. So we've had a lot of exciting times, and we look forward to following them as they get into postseason play. And just like to give a little plug to the Chardot boys down there from Versailles that played at Walsh, and now Jeremy's an assistant coach there. So little connection here to Southwest Ohio.
Sure is. Hey, listen, Coach, Jerry, one more question, and we'll let you go. Ken and I, we're big running fans over here, and believe it or not, the track season's right around the corner. I know it doesn't look like it outside right now, but it's coming. It's coming. You got a pretty good senior class over there, including Haley Horstman, Cassie Boyle, and Isaac Kuntz over there. Now, we know Haley, I believe she's going to Findlay to play basketball. How about Cassie and Isaac? They got any plans to run after they graduate?
At this point, Isaac's planning on going to Tiffin University, another GLIAC school, to continue his running, both track and cross country. Cassie's had some interest from some Ohio Conference schools, Otterbein and the like, and I think she's still weighing her options as to how that's all going to play out for her and her family. But just like we're looking forward to the weather warming up, we're looking forward to the track season too.
All right. Well, that's great stuff. We look forward to watching them this spring. And, hey, listen, Jerry, thanks for joining us on the show tonight. Good luck to all the Ranger teams the rest of the sports season, and hope to see you out there somewhere.
Okay, guys, thanks. We appreciate everything you're doing to promote high school sports.
Thanks, Jerry.
All right.
Have a good night.
Yep.
That was New Knoxville AD Jerry Vanderhorst, Ken, and they're New Knoxville. For as small as they are, kind of remind me of Russia. They're a very small school, but they manage to put out some quality athletes.
Absolutely, Craig. They do remind me a lot of Russia, one of the smaller school districts in the state. And but year in and year out, they're very, very competitive. Whether it's a boys sport or a girls sport, they've got great athletes. They got great coaches over there, and probably the most importantly thing, Craig, they got great family support, and that's what a lot of things lead to in these small villages that put out good athletes.
All right. Well, listen, that's good. About going to wrap it up for us tonight. Got one thing left, and that is that trivia question you asked me at the beginning of the night. Why don't you read it to me again, and I'm going to check out Twitter.
Well, hopefully you have some New Knoxville followers out there, Craig, that could probably help you answer this question. But which New Knoxville great holds the record of 34 rebounds in a single game? Which New Knoxville great basketball player holds the record of 34 rebounds in a single game? Is it Kyle Schreier, Lee Katterhenrich, or Evan Eschmeyer?
All right. Well, like I said at the beginning of the night, all three good choices. But I got to go. I got to go with the NBA guy, and I got a little support here on Twitter. RDN 5 cents says Evan Eschmeyer, so that's my guess. Evan Eschmeyer.
All right. Well, Craig, you know what? He did play in the NBA. He did play in the Big Ten, and he was a great basketball player, but he does not hold the record at New Knoxville for most rebounds. No, back in 1961, before he was selling cars, Lee Katterhenrich rebounded 34 rebounds for the New Knoxville Rangers, which is an incredible number.
Wow. That's impressive. Impressive. It's not Evan Eschmeyer. You're positive.
It's not Evan Eschmeyer.
All right.
At least according to the OHSA website, which by also that ranks as like top 15 ever in the state of Ohio for most rebounds in a single game, which I would think it would be number one. That's a lot of rebounds.
Yes, that is a bunch. All right, well, listen, that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to say special thanks to Coach Sagester for joining us, and also for Jerry Vanderhorst for joining us a little bit ago. Ken and I and the crew will all be back again next week, same time, same place. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and good night, everyone.